Okay, you're about to see a Year 8 lesson that is actually commencing after a unit of weather and climate. It's an accelerated group that are actually taking GCSE Humanities a year early. And what we're conscious of is that in the Year 8 diet and scheme of work, there is no skill-based activities that they will be using when they get to Year 9 and be doing their GCSE Humanities. So this is a decision-making exercise to give them a taster of the kind of skills that they will need to apply in that course. The Year 8 class need to build their team working skills. And they also need to start looking at geographical issues that affect people and places. And the scenario that I'm going to give them is quite a simplified version of a problem that could actually be a reality. What we're aiming to do is, once we've got their skills of analysis, interpretation, evaluation, all of those skills there, then they can transfer those skills to wider, more important geographical issues like coping with a natural disaster, flooding, and so on. Okay. Survival, today's lesson. Before we have a look at this, can anyone tell me what they think survival means, or what do I mean by survival? Those people, they were fighting for survival after Hurricane Katrina. What do I mean, Toshini?
Is it a way of fighting death?
Yeah, probably fighting off death. What else?
Trying to live.
Trying to live. How can you survive something?
If you really want to get away from the place, you should listen and you'll probably do that then.
Yeah, so by being informed, yeah?
Or protect yourself from danger.
By protecting yourself from danger, yeah?
And evacuate the place, which is like...
By evacuating the place. We look at prior learning, yeah?
If you know, you can be prepared if you want to stay.
Excellent. And by being prepared and predicting prior learning, if we look back at when we did Interactive Earth, we looked at Montserrat, does everybody remember we had an assessment based on that? So let's have a little look. So today's objective to raise levels of understanding of the importance of decision making and the key elements of successful decision making. Now this is a skills-based lesson that I wanted to introduce to you now. So when you go and do your GCSE Humanities next year, you will be well equipped with that skill and we can launch into it. So first of all, I've done a little blurb here for you. What is decision making? Decision making in geography encourages us to consider geographical issues and problems that have an impact on both people and places. And in geography, you could perhaps be making decisions on coping with natural disasters, and that's the bit that you've touched upon. What other important decisions did you make this morning? Anish, what important decision did you make this morning?
Well, I drank Lucozade
Okay.
and I've got a headache.
You got a headache.
Yeah.
Was that a good decision or a bad decision?
A bad decision.
Probably a bad decision. What could have you drunk this morning?
Water to improve headache.
Water. Anybody else? What decision did they make this morning? I made a decision this morning. I wanted to wear my green top. My green top was in the wash, so I wore my brown top, yeah?
We'll have Cocoa Pops or Rice Krispies.
Okay. Any other decisions? Anyone made some major decisions in the last week or so? Anything, yeah?
Whether to move schools.
Whether to move schools? Talk about that later. Toshini?
To wake up early or not.
To wake up earlier, why?
Because since last week was enrichment week, so and we had to come to school very early. So
Okay, all right, okay. So, let's move on though. By the end of the lesson, all of you will be able to ask relevant questions which are linked to systematic thinking, okay? All will be revealed in a second. Second of all, some of you, not all of you, will be able to interpret and organise information. What is she talking about? And finally, be able to analyse and evaluate and present information. From what I'm saying, can anyone tell me what they think they're going to have to do today?
Make a little presentation.
Make a little presentation,
a news report.
a news report,
Group work.
group work, and more importantly, I'm going to make you do a decision-making exercise. You're going to make a decision. But tomorrow, what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you a tough geographical issue. Today, I'm going to ease you into it. So, without further ado, I'm going to present to you survival. All right. Okay. Before I get you to all move, I want you staying like this because it's just easier. So, you're going to be getting into groups, everyone. You're going to be a team, you're going to be a team, you're going to be a team, you're going to be a team. This is your team. Say hello to your team. Do you want to shake hands with the person next to you? Yeah? Okay? Yeah? No? Okay? All right? Okay. All right. Get used to your team. Have a look at your team. All right. Excellent. Nice high five there. Let's start. Survival. What is this?
Survival.
What are we going to try and do?
Survive.
Oh, well done. I thought someone will go, I'm going to try and survival. Okay. Right. So, let me pitch it to you. This is so slow today. Here we go. Setting the scene. You and your team have chartered a yacht. A fire breaks out whilst you are in the Pacific Ocean, and much of the yacht and contents are destroyed. The yacht is slowly sinking, and you must quickly decide what to take with you. The skipper and crew are lost overboard, presumed drowned. So your best estimate is that you are 1,000 miles away from the nearest bit of land. Oh no, what are we going to do? So, you and your team managed to save the following items. Please do not comment on the first item. I'm aware that you don't know what it is. Don't tell me what you're thinking. Just. All right, so first of all, you retrieve and manage to save the following items. Number 1, a sextant. Number 2, a shaving mirror. 3, mosquito netting. 4, a 5-gallon can of water. 6, a case of army rations, maps of the Pacific Ocean, a floating sea cushion, 2-gallon can of petrol, a small transistor radio, 20 feet of opaque plastic sheeting, a bit of shark repellent, 3 bottles of rum, 15 feet of nylon rope, 2 boxes of chocolate bars, and a fishing kit. No partridge in a pear tree. And in addition, you have between you 2 £5 notes, a box of matches, and 2 passports. Has everyone got it so far? So, Anish, what has happened to your yacht?
Yes, it's
Caught on?
actually fire.
Caught on fire. Fantastic. And you and your team have managed to retrieve or save?
5 items.
15.
Fantastic. 15 items. And those items are listed on the board, okay? Is everyone clear on that so far?
Yeah.
All right. What do you think you're going to have to do?
Have we got to like make something that will survive? So what I want to keep us to survive to land.
Okay. Yeah?
Like, choose what you have to take.
Choose what you have to take.
A decision on what you have to
A
take.
decision on what you have to take. So you've saved these 15 items. Your task, teams. Can I call you teams?
No.
Yeah. Okay. No. Okay. All right. A. Rank the list in order of importance. So you will know what to throw overboard if it all weighs too much or takes up too much space in the life raft. No, you can't throw a member overboard. No. Okay. Your survival depends on it. B. Record your ranking, but give you reasons. And C. You're going to have to select a spokesperson to report back your rationale. Does everyone know what I mean by rationale?
That's one.
What do I mean by your rationale? Jaden, what do I mean by your rationale?
The things that you saved.
The things that you saved? Can someone sort of expand on that? What's my rationale? What was my rationale for wearing shoes this morning so my feet don't...
Decision.
Yeah, it's a decision that you make. It's the reason why you did it, yeah? It's the reason why you did it. Okay. You're going to have a grid given to you. And basically, here's one I prepared earlier. You're going to get given a sheet. Each team's going to be given a sheet. Let's have a look at the sheet. There's the instructions that I've already given you. And if we pop it over, you have a grid. And on the grid, here's an enlarged version. You put what item you want to put first that you think is the most important, and you give a reason. Out of that list, can anyone tell me what they think the most important is?
Wait,
Have a little
the
think.
water,
The water. Why would it be important to you?
because I'd need to drink.
Because you need to drink.
Yeah, and I'd get thirsty.
And you'll get thirsty. I could say put the 3 rum bottles up there. Happy days. But why might you not put rum as your first important
Because
item?
I'm too young to drink it.
Okay, that's a fantastic answer. Okay, cool.
The floating pillow thing.
floating pillow thing,
Yeah.
cushion.
Yeah.
Why might you put that first?
Because otherwise you're just going to sink.
Okay, now already people have got different opinions. You and your teammates have to come up with an order of the 15 and you need to agree on it. Easy peasy. What I'd like you to do is stand up, push your tables together, you're a team, you're a team, you're a team, and you sit round and I'm going to give out the handouts. Right. Okay, what I'll do is, to make this a bit easier, I'm going to put 2 per table, okay? But you're working as a team, but I'll put 2 per table. You okay there? All right, I am going to put 2 per table. But remember, you're coming up with your lists together. 2 per table, but you've got to put your lists together. 2 per table, but you've got to put your lists together, okay? Now, if you could look this way, Chloe, Robert, and Anika's wrestling with the chair. Right, if you could just look this way, on the back page, it's a bit like an idiot's, guys. On the back page, I've given you a help sheet. It might be worth you starting on the back page and deciding in your first 5 minutes of your 16 minutes the order, okay? Then after those 5 minutes, I'll alert you after those 5 minutes, flick over to that grid, jot them all in, and then come up with your rationale. What is your rationale? Your decision, your reasons for why you put them first, second, third. Yes. What's a sextant? Would anyone like to have a go at what they think a sextant is? And it is nothing, you know,
To do with
unsavoury, so please.
Isn't it for HIV if you might catch it?
Do you know what? To make this a bit more interesting, I'm not actually going to tell you what a sextant is right till the end. Now, before we start, you won't know then where to place it. If you're not sure if something's important or not important, where should you rank it? Where should you rank it?
in the middle.
Where should you rank it? Where should you rank it?
In the middle.
And where should you rank it? In the middle. Bear that in mind. I've thrown that in as a wild card, okay? All right. Is everybody clear on what they need to do? Yeah. What's shark repellent?
It means that sharks won't attack you.
Yeah, because it repels them. Right. Okay. I'm going to put the timer up. Your time starts now. Oh my God. Why would chocolate be most important?
Does it make you happy?
It makes you happy. So in that kind of situation, that's the most important thing.
And there'll be no
What's the
violence.
most important? If you need to survive, what do you need to think about? If you're going to survive, what do you need to be thinking about?
Small changes to radio because I don't think
No, but you need to live. You need to live though. That means you have to float. So you need the floating seat cushion to float.
Yeah, but you're in the
Yeah,
life.
it's £1,000. It's £1,000 miles away.
need a small transition radio to get to
Have it in, have it in, have it in. Right, what do you think is the most important? Water.
In a few days.
Okay, so is everybody, you put that as one? One, excellent. Second, what is the most important? When you've got to survive, think about survival, food. So have a look at the items that might relate to food.
The fishing kit.
The fishing kit. So what would you have to do with the fishing kit? You would catch fish. What other kind of food maybe supplements are there?
Army style.
Mmm.
and chocolate.
Have a little think about it.
I like chocolate.
How about you? Have you decided on your number one? You haven't. Out of interest, do you know how big is what? The floating cushion. Okay, if we guesstimate.
And there's about 4 of them.
4 in a dinghy. 20 feet. Do you know how big a foot is? Foot ruler. It's 20 of those. Do you want me to get a ruler? I'll get a ruler for you. All right. Okay, as an indication, we did this on the length of the classroom. If this is a foot, that's 2 feet, that's 3 feet, 4. 4 times what makes 20? 5, so 5 of these. So if I was to line, I've got 15 rulers here, if I was to line it up, you can imagine how big that sheeting is. But it's 15 feet squared. So it's like from there to there to there. So it goes all the way round. That's quite big. 20. 20? 20. What's your rationale for having the plastic? What's your rationale for having the plastic? Why is the plastic so important?
We can't sit on the cushion, so we're going to have to sit on the plastic.
But if it's underneath.
Does your survival depend on sitting on a cushion?
Where is it?
Oh, have a look at the list. What's the most important thing you would need to survive?
You can drink water while you're swimming.
Well, you know what? I'm going to leave this decision making to you. Very interesting. Remember, your first 5 minutes should be on completing that back sheet because you're going to need more time to discuss with each other your rationale. Yeah. It could be. And can I just say,
It's one of those pencil things, isn't it? It goes compass. It's like that thing, and then where all the parrots go. Yeah, there's compass.
You basically measure those things.
Is a compass.
no, a compass in math terms is something that says north, east, south, west.
No, I'm talking about that.
In mathematical terms, it's the thing that you
Yeah.
twiddle around.
I don't know. So it's a bit like that.
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. It could be one of those.
Like the Pirates of the Caribbean.
I think it is. Yeah.
Like the Pirates of the Caribbean. Have you decided on your number 1?
Yeah.
And your number 2? And your number 3? And your number 4? And your number 5? What's number 5? Shark propeller.
Maybe you could choose the mosquito netting for fishing.
That's a fantastic
No, but
idea.
number 3 we already got fishing kit.
There you go.
Yeah.
How are we doing? How are we doing? Oh my God, you've come up with your list already. Fantastic. What's your 15? You think that's absolutely useless?
This is what we put.
Yeah? And what did you put? What's your 15? So you're split in your group. What I would say is, because you've actually kind of negotiated where you want to put it, one of you now start this. Just rip it out there. One of you start this and start negotiating what's first, second, third, fourth. Give your reasons, okay? Try and come up to an agreement. Right. Can we quickly just look at this way? Look this way. Anish, Tarshini, just look this way. Have a look at the timer. Coming up to 10 minutes. This is going to be the difficult bit. You need to come up with reasons for your ranking. And some of you are even struggling on the ranking, okay? It's not a bad thing, not a good thing, not going to tell you. But just please keep your eye on the clock. You want to aim to have your table that looks a little bit, and I've got one here, that another class did, a little bit like this. So it's all filled in. They've only put a couple of words, but when your spokesperson feeds back, they've got something, they've got a bit of a rationale to say, well, we put water first because of this reason, and we put whatever first because of this reason. Remember, everyone's going to have different views, but you as a collective have to agree, okay? All right, carry on. I put this on the floor.
Number 9. And then 10 we should have.
Chocolate and rum. No.
Jaden, what do you think?
We
Yeah,
should
so
have
far.
a cake. Then you can sit
You
on
did number 8. So you reckon I should go bang in the middle?
like a bow.
So you're not going to say that, oh, it's useless because I don't know what it is?
No, because you said it's close to a compass.
Do you ever think? I didn't say that. I said,
Oh, I know what it is. It's one of those things.
she's adamant it's the sort of thing, so. Have a good think about
We
it.
should have.
You turn it into like a bag and then tie it up and then blow it up and then tie it. So it'll be like a giant circle. Yeah, you've got.
What do you reckon?
If you swim, you're going to have to make it touch the water.
Do you know what?
You can hold first. It'll be in a pan, won't it? It'll be in a can.
Oh yeah. No, yeah.
I'm going to give you a copy of this so you've got the list in front of you, okay? All right. I'm just going to give you another copy so you've got the list in front of you. I'm going to give you another copy, another couple of copies so you've got the list in front of you so it's a bit more helpful, okay? I'm just going to give you a couple more lists just so you've got it in front of you so you don't get confused, all right? You're finished.
We haven't discussed it.
Have you discussed it, Jordan? Are you happy with what the team's decisions are? So you're not happy?
What we're going to do, let's have our, if we do each spokesperson like that, we need to show it out with the front.
You can, yeah, of course, but yeah, you can do that as it's that's fine.
You're quite silly. Well,
No, he's got a rationale.
You can actually drop over if you get too hyper. So you're like, I can show up to swim and then
Exactly, like me at the start of the lesson, I got so excited that my remote on the floor. No, it's true. No, that is maybe true. That is maybe true. I do like my chocolate. I do love my chocolate. I think chocolate for me would be high on the list. Yeah, but comfort food. But the point is survival. Do you need it to survive?
as someone got into love chocolate, I mean, how about a night time when me and Jordan are
Do you want a spare copy?
and they sneak it
Do you like a
out?
spare copy?
Like, give them to you, they like chocolate. Say if me and Jordan are sleeping, and then to sneak our chocolate in you. So you got to think of it like that.
Yeah, social tension. Come on. Right, you've got 7 minutes left. 7 minutes left. Remember, you're looking at the top 5 or so that will aid your survival. Think about what you need to survive. What do you need to survive? Food and water. It's true, it's true.
if you get in the boat, you can the people left in the water, you can pull them to river.
You're debating over the rope. It's quite heavy though, isn't it? 15 feet of nylon rope. It's quite heavy. Nylon's like well, go on, no. Yep. It's a type of fabric. If you get it on a cotton reel, you know.
Is it like kind of silky?
It's man-made. Can be.
So 15 feet.
Do you find you're in agreement with a lot of your survival tactics, yeah? Yeah? Good, 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 good. Yeah. It's a life raft.
Yeah, so they got speedboats.
No, no, no.
It's got run.
It's a life raft.
You got to run.
You're back gently down the stream in the middle of the Pacific. Happy days. The oars are there. Your oars are there. Your oars are there. You can presume your oars are there. But if you're in the middle of the Pacific Ocean and your yacht's got on fire, I don't think you're really going to be thinking about rowing anywhere. You need to put a plan of action. The main cause of the thing is you need to survive. How are you going to survive? People got to find you. That's another thing. People have got to try and find you. Have you thought about how they're going to try and find you? Is there anything in that list that is a priority that you can't get rid of? Because if you get rid of it, how are they going to find you?
The radio. The mirror.
Yeah, the mirror as well.
Yeah, maybe the mirror, maybe the radio.
So never sexing you, is it close to what I said about HIV?
No. Okay. Way off the mark. Way off. You know what? I'm going to do... Use your initiative.
I also dictionary.
4 minutes, 10 seconds. Alright.
It's good that you find out how far away. Alright, so your first machine
There must be on it.
Yeah, of course. You've only got 3 minutes, 10 seconds.
A box of
So,
To help you use the map.
yeah, to help you use the map. Yeah, we need a map. Don't we?
It wouldn't even get near you.
Did you find out what a sex is? No one else has used their initiative and said, Miss, do you have a dictionary?
Isn't it altitude? You've got to measure. Yeah. Stars.
To keep up to things.
In case
Right, we're coming into the 1 minute 30-second mark. Be prepared to elect a spokesperson in the next 30 seconds. Yeah?
I know what it is now. I know what it is. It's like stuff that comes wrapped in.
What's that? The
20.
20 square feet of opaque plastic.
Yes, plastic, yeah.
So it's just plastic, 20 feet of there. You know how big a foot is? 1 foot. 20 of those. Square. Yep. Good? Good. All right. Right, you've got a minute left. You know what? I'd start selecting who your spokesperson is, because someone's going to have to feed back. As long as you've got your top 5 really tight, you can get by with that on your presentation, okay? How could you find out what it is? How could you find out what it is? If you were in the class and you thought, I need to find out what a sextant is. Right. Right, I'll give you a dictionary. You didn't ask for one.
We got 25 cents.
Here you go. You didn't make the decision. 18, 16, 14.
This can use another 16 minutes.
No. 10, 6, 4, 2, 1. Stop what you're doing. Right, just to check. Put your hands up, hands up, hands, 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 hands to say I give up. Right, stop. Please now, I'm just going to give you a couple of seconds. Push the list towards the spokesperson who's going to talk. Right. Did it even make a noise? No? Oh.
It's just the first 5 that we written.
Sorry, I don't believe it made a noise. There we go. Right. Okay. we ready? Anish? Maria? Okay, can you do me a massive favour? I don't want to talk to your backs. So can you turn your chairs around so if I was doing it opposite, like that, so you're facing me. So you're facing me. Super. That was a bad idea, wasn't it? Right, okay. Facing me. Not facing each other. Cozy little team. It's all right. Lovely. All right. Okay. Robert, you here?
Yeah, man.
Okay. Okay. Right, are we ready? I've got answers for you. And I'm not going to give them to you yet. And we're going to start wrapping up this session now. But before we wrap it up, we need to do our little presentations because I want to see what you got. We'll compare it. After we compare it, we're actually going to see how hard this was to do. Some of you spoke, some of you didn't speak. In some of your teams, natural leaders formed. Did you find that? Yeah? No? Okay. Have a little chat about that in a second. Right. So here's my little board here. I did think about writing all of these up, but when I did this in a previous lesson, it just looked all messy and it was like, oh. So what we're going to do, we're going to go round the table. So we're going to start there, come over here and here, like a bit of a Z shape. And you're going to all give me number 1, then number 2, then number 3, and so on. Is everyone clear on that? Yeah? Okay, let's do a dummy run with the letters of the alphabet. Everyone give me the first letter of the alphabet. It will be
A.
C.
Come on, let's try and do this. Only the spokesperson. Ready? Go.
A.
A.
The next one will be
B.
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 excellent. Right. So all I want is your first one on the list. Ready? Set. Go.
A small transistor radio to
Okay.
contact others.
Water.
Cushion for buoyancy.
Floating seat cushion.
Excellent. Right. So 2 of you had the same. You started to give your reason. Go through your rationale.
To contact others.
To contact others. Right.
So we don't dehydrate.
So you don't dehydrate. How about you? Your floating sea cushion?
So one person can sit on it.
Don't laugh. Don't laugh. Okay. Yeah.
So you don't drown.
So you don't drown. Why? What? Come on. Anyone want to help her out? You won't drown. Why?
Because it's like it kind of.
If
Excellent. And what can it act as? What haven't you got if you fell into the sea?
Life jacket.
You haven't got a life jacket. It's a fantastic answer. Believe what you say, Anika. Right, number 2, go.
Section.
Army rations.
A nylon rope.
5-gallon can of water.
Okay, why have you said a sextant?
To find north because it contacts latitude and longitude.
Okay, for the benefit of the class, can you tell everyone what a sextant is?
Like it's an object thing that finds latitude and longitude.
Okay, fantastic. All right.
Army rations.
Army
Because-
rations.
So we have food to survive.
Okay.
Nylon rope, so we can all be tied together and swim.
Look, she's going. I didn't like that decision. Go on, yep.
You can't last more than 3 days.
So you've got water, yeah? Can't last more than 3 days without water. Valid. Okay, number 3, quickly.
5 gallon of water.
Yep.
Fishing kit.
Okay.
Radio.
Radio.
Sharp repellent.
Shark repellent. Why did you say the fishing kit?
To catch fish when the rations run out.
Okay, and why did you say?
To so that sharks won't come after you while you're in the floating seat cushion.
Okay, fair enough. We're on number 4. Okay, number 4.
In case of army stuff like the.
What was your number 4?
Army rations.
Army rations.
Radio.
Sharp.
Army radio. I mean, army rations.
Yeah, they're starting to overlap now. So your top 5s are very similar. What's your number 5, Robert?
Fishing kit.
Yeah.
Shark repellent.
Shark repellent.
Gallons of water.
Gallons of water and
Map of Pacific Ocean.
map of the Pacific Ocean. That was the only new one that's come up there. Why a map?
So you can see all around the ocean where you can go.
Okay, you know what? There's so many ways I can do this. I'm going to do it a very quick way. I'm actually going to just give you the answers, have a little look at it, have a little think about it, and then we're going to come back. I'm going to give you about 2 minutes to do that because I'm conscious of the time and I want to wrap this up properly. So I'm going to give you all the answers. All right.
And the map.
you go. Enjoy. All right.
I told you
Read it. I'll read it. Read the rationale. Everyone forgot they had £5 notes and matches and passports. Have a look at number 15. Well, there is a number 15.
Isn't it not a compass on?
It's not a compass, no, it's not a compass. It's basically a scientific instrument. It needs to be used in conjunction with the other ones. So by itself, it's absolutely useless.
Why is that though? What about you can see by the time
You're not, you're in a life raft. Say that again? Yeah, you're in a life There we go. Rank the above list in order of importance so you will know what to throw overboard if it weighs too much or takes up too much space. In the life
Geography is fun.
Right, okay. Right, can you look this way, please? Again, if your chairs are pointing the wrong way, can you point them towards me? Chloe and Melissa, I know you love that. Right, okay. Right, no one said this one. And it's weird because, Chloe, you said the shaving mirror. You talked about the mirror. But can we just look at this rationale at the top? And I've got my eye on the clock because I know we're going to run out of time, but I want to wrap this up. Anything we don't finish today, we'll overlap tomorrow. So it says here, according to experts, US Coast Guards, the basic supplies needed when a person is stranded mid-ocean are articles to attract attention and articles to aid survival until rescue arrives. Articles for navigation, like the sextant and maps, are of little importance, since even if a small life raft were capable of reaching land, it would be impossible to store enough food and water to survive for the requisite amount of time. Without signalling devices, there is almost no chance of being spotted and ultimately rescued. Furthermore, most rescues occur within the first 36 hours. You touched upon the 3-day thing there with the water. And a person can survive with only a minimum of food and water during that period. So the following is in order of the rank here. They've ranked these. It's not hard and fast, but this is what experts have said. You can still argue it, okay? Shaving mirror, 2-gallon can of petrol. My argument for the petrol, though, is that if you basically light your fire on the ocean, and the wind blows, you can actually blow into it. 5-gallon can of water, yeah, and then you will burn, yeah. 1 case of army rations, because you've got your basic food intake, 20 square feet of opaque plastic to collect rainwater and to provide a shelter. Now, before you go, and hopefully Madame Gaidu won't get mad at me for keeping you just a little longer, I just want you to think about one last thing. Okay. All right. Okay. It's a conversation. Okay? And I think what we'll do is we'll start this as our starter tomorrow because it is important. 2 people. Blue and green. So what is a good decision? One that works out well. Do good decisions always work out well? Yeah, well, that's what a good decision is. But what does that mean? Works out well. I don't know. Somebody gets what they want? What if the choice brings things that aren't wanted? I saw your face and I saw your face when things like chocolate and when things were mentioned. What if the choice brings things that aren't wanted? Like buying a car that is cheaper but it might break down more. Yeah, well, if you end up with something you don't want, maybe it was a bad decision. I want you to think about that, and tomorrow we're going to start with that as our little stimulus, and then we're going to go into our next geography decision-making exercise. Right, can you put all of your sheets in the middle of the table? Can you push your chairs in? Can you just stand behind your chairs so I can make sure there's no mess? Has everybody got everything? Okay, let's see what table's ready first. All right. Okay, we ready? Anika, chair. Fantastic. I will see you tomorrow. Take care and have a lovely afternoon. Bye. See you later. See you later. Have you got your blazer today, Anika? I think it went well. However, at the end, I thought it was a bit rushed. I was conscious that I do actually have the class the next day, which is a bit of a gift, because then whatever I didn't cover or whatever I didn't touch upon in the lesson previously, I can recap and it's still fresh in their minds. I was happy with the students interacting with each other, and they were thinking about everything. They were on task, and that was absolutely great. In terms of skills, I think in hindsight now, I would have liked to have done an evaluation form with them and recapped back onto the learning outcomes to see whether they felt competent in evaluation, analysis, were they able to think systematically. That was something that we didn't manage to basically backtrack on. So, and at the end with my plenary, I had a conversation piece where there's a dialogue between two people, and what I'm going to basically tease through that is the fact that people have different opinions. If somebody gets their way, the person that didn't have that opinion will view that as being a bad choice. And what they need to realise is that nothing is clear-cut, and we have global issues in the world where we do have to make very important decisions, and it won't be the greatest good for everybody. It will be basically based on a group of people that have the power and want to move things forward.